Hello and welcome to Crafting with Jane. Today we're doing more Christmas and I'm pulling out all of the old stamps and things that I've got because I wanted to do a little scene on here. And so I've pulled this one out, which is called Festive Scene. It's by Cardio. Really love it, and I thought that I would use that one. Not even sure if I've got all of the stamps in on here. I'm just looking to see. I quite like this little branchy piece here, so I'm just going to see if I've even got that in on here. Have I? Oh yes, I have. I've got it down the other side. That's good. So I'm going to take this out because I wanted to do a bit of a sort of a scene in on here. And then I'm going to fill it with some different things. Now, you can use whatever stamps you've got. I just happen to fancy having a go with these ones because I haven't used them very much and they've been in my stash for a long time. So what I've done is I have got a square card base because I've got a circle mask. If you're doing a different size of card, you can have an oval, you can have whatever shape you want really. But this is a 5.5 inch square, which is going on just a 5.75 inch card base. So I've just done a mask out of copy paper exactly the same size. As you know, I don't like sticking things down. I find it better to hold it with my fingers and off we go. So I've got a blending brush and I'm going to be using a pale blue. So I'm using this, which is a Stampin' Up one called Pool Party. But again, you can use whatever inks you've got. So I'm just making sure that I've got it where it is, taking it off on the side first and just blending it in. Now, I don't want it too dark, so I'm taking it from the bottom and just sort of blending it up. Now, as I said, because I hold my paper, it means I have to brush with one hand, but I don't find that too difficult. I take it from off the side first, whoops, and then just bring it in. Now you can see I'm holding it from this side first, and then I will go and sort of hold it on from the other side. Now I'm only sort of going round the sides. I'm trying not to go too much into the center because that's where I'm going to have my scene. But I want the sides so that when we take it off, we can actually see where everything is. So I'm just going to move this round this way, hold it that way, and then I can do it. Because I'm right-handed, I find that easier. And as I say, I don't find it moves too much at all because I'm using the little brush. You can use a larger brush. You can use a sponge dauber if you want. And in fact, for some of this, I think I probably will be using a sponge dauber. I just wanted this for around the outside. Okay, so that's all I'm doing on that. And then I am going to build up some little, and I might still use the same ink pad so we keep it nice and pale, but I'm not completely sure yet. What I want to do is I want to use this little tiny branch stamp like this, and I'm going to take it all the way around the side. Now what I need to do is, to start off with though, is I need to take my mask off. So I'm going to take the mask off. You can see we've got a nice circle on it, and I'm going to do the branch first of all. So do I want to keep it all in the same colour tone, or do I want to do it slightly darker? I think I want to do it slightly darker. I think I want to have it in a green, but I don't want it as a too dark green. So what about this one? This is quite a pale green. That might work quite well if I can get the ink pad open. So I'm going to go round. Now this is the first time I've used this stamp, so I just need to make sure that it's coming. Yes, it is going to come off all right. And I'm literally just going halfway on and halfway off, and it's quite pale, so I'm literally just going to do it full strength all the way around, because if I try and do it partial strength, it's just not going to work because this is a bit too pale. So I'm going to be using another colour as well, and there we are. So we've got a nice sort of circly part in there, and then I want a slightly darker one. So what am I going to use for a slightly darker one? Don't want it too dark. I think I'm going to use this one, which is going to come a little bit darker, but I don't want it too dark. I want it sort of quite pale, so I can ink it up from here, and then I'm going in between on, let me turn it this way around. I'm going to do it from the bottom, I think, because then I can see it easier. So I'm just taking it out just a tad and just bringing that in, so we have the light and the dark coming through. Very pretty little leaf, twiggy branch this one is. Very pleased with that. There we go. And I say, isn't it surprising that I don't use stamps often enough. I put them away and then I use something else, and then that's it. So that's that little branch one. I might just use everything in this festive set because it does look as if there's quite a lot in there. I need to put my mask back in again now because I don't want it to come. Do I need the mask? I don't think I do, actually. I think I can probably take it from the side quite nicely. So I've got the circle, I've got that in there, which is what I wanted. I now want to do some little sort of snowy type bank things. And for this, I want to do it in, let's just put that one back. I want to sort of take it down just a bit of an angle, sort of coming from the top all the way down. So for this, I want to use a sponge dauber because I get a little bit more definition with that. Sometimes if you use a blending brush, it doesn't quite work as well as it should. So I want a fairly pale blue in here. Sorry, off camera, I'm just choosing my sponge dauber on here. Gonna have that one, I think. Let's just put this back away. I'm getting quite good at doing it without knocking my camera on my shelf. And so I want this pale blue again, and this is going to give me the sort of snowy branch through in on here. So I'm just going to take it up, and I'm literally just going all the way along the outside of the little mask that I've done, and all I've done is just torn some paper. So then what it should do is give me, yes, a nice sort of little snowy bit that comes in like that. Then I can take one the opposite way. Just right the way along the edge without it being too overly. Tell you what that one's like, that's better. Okay, so we'll start with those. Might actually take a lower one. Take a little lower one and we'll see. Like that. Okay, so we've got some little sort of snowy ridges. I'm going to keep this to one side because I think I might have to add some more in. So let's have a look and see what we've got. I want to have, we've got sort of little mountains and things. Do you think mountains would look quite good at the back? No, I think trees probably look quite good. I want to have the little houses in on here because I think those houses look quite sweet. And I want to have some sort of deer down in the front. I could have a bit of a, oh, it's difficult, isn't it? I am going to use some of these little trees actually because I want those at the back. So this is called mini tall trees or something, I think. I don't know. I'll read it once I've got them out. Yes, mini tall trees. So these, I can take some of these little ones and just put them in up. See, even those are quite good, but I want them sort of Christmassy. So these little tiny ones I'm going to use. So I've got a couple of little tiny ones here. So let's have that there, that there. I think those are the small ones that we want. So let's just pop those on a little block. And then I need to look and see what colour I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it in the morning mist. So it's going to be slightly paler rather than too dark because I think that will work quite nicely. So we're going to take one of these. Now I can put this mask back on again so I make sure that the stem of the branch, and it's quite nice because I've got that little bobbly bit there, I can line it up quite well. So when you tear it, try not to tear it too uniformly, otherwise you'll end up with so I'm just going to take some little ones like this. That way. And like that, and then I'm going to take the other one, which is a slightly different shaped tree, and then I can just put one up in there. That's quite a nice shaped tree, isn't it? One like that. Let's take that off and see. There we are. So they look as if they're right in the background, which is quite nice. Then what I could do is I could have, when I've finished, I might put a large tree at the front to just give it a sort of a focal point on there. But I'm going to put these just out here so I can clean them off afterwards. Okay, so what are we going to do now? I've got this fence, which is quite exciting, but I don't know whether I want to have the fence running down or not. I could have the fence in sort of up on there, couldn't I? But I want these little houses first, so let's do these houses and see how that looks. So I've got a little row of houses and a church, which is quite nice, so let's get those out. I've got 4 little houses. I think little houses as a Christmas scene is quite nice with a little church in the middle. So let's put my church in the middle, shall we? So that's my church, like that, and I'm going to have my church literally, do I want it, I'm going to have it down on, I need to get my, where is it, that little mask again out. Down and on here, so I can have the little church like that, and then we'll have the other little houses sort of side by side. Little house like that. My houses are a bit on the skew, but that's probably because I do struggle with getting things straight, but that's me, so don't panic too much about that. Put this one on the other side. It's that one. and it can be because it's sort of up on a hill, isn't it? I might have to sort of add the hilly part in afterwards a little bit. So let's just take that one in like that. And I haven't got any other things to go by the side of it. No, I think, do I just want 4 like that? I think so. I might have just this other one in there, so it's an odd number. Just put that up there. And we'll have this little one in there, like that. Okay, so they're all sort of stuck in underneath the snow, which looks quite good. So put the mask back so you've then got your look of things coming through, which is quite nice. Now let's have a little look and see if we've got anything else that we fancy. We wanted to have some little deer and things, didn't we? So I think maybe I want the stag, because the stag's rather beautiful. And again, he's quite small, which is nice. So let's have the little stag in on the centre. So the stag's going to come. I might have to just do another little bit of snowy bank afterwards. So that's my stag. And then I've got the little one that's that one, the two grazing either side is what I want. I think that looks quite nice. So we'll have one side, one the other side. I won't know which side until I've inked it up. So let's have this one this side grazing. And we'll have this one this side grazing. Like that. Then I was going to put a big tree, wasn't I? So what was the biggest? That tree looks quite big, doesn't it? Let's see if I can find that tree on there. Is it this one? No, that's my branch. Oh, my tree's in on the other, is in on this stamp set, isn't it? The mini trees. Is that going to be big enough? Maybe. Maybe. I think it'll look quite nice because it's just could do with having just something coming in on that corner to just sort of break it up in a different colour. Oh, that's interesting. So it's going outwards. That's all right. I'm going to have it just there. That looks nice. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to define my snowy bits more. So I think I'm going to go, do I go with the same colour or do I go slightly darker? I think I'm going to go slightly darker because I think it'll show up a little bit more. So I've got a dark blue and I've still got the light blue, and I'm going to tone both, so one and then the other. So let's just put these out of the way. So I've got both the ink pads either side. I've got the light sponge dauber, which I'm going to do first. So the light one is going to come exactly as we had it before. So I can then just take it through on the top. Like that. And then we'll put this one on here so it comes through in onto the houses just a little bit. And then I need to take it just a little bit lower, I think. So the snow is just a little bit deeper on this one, so it just is a little bit more of a ridge. That's better. And then this, where the deer are, I'm going to have them almost like a straight line, I think, through on here. Don't want it to be too... Let's just get some more on my sponge dauber. Okay, that's a bit better. Now I think I do want to do just a little bit darker. So this is where I have to be quite careful, because I don't want to overdo it. So I'm literally just taking it and just doing a very, very, very fine line. Which means, and to do a fine line, all I'm doing is just going up as just on the edge and no more. So literally, whoops, wrong one. Just little circular motions, but literally, so you're hardly going over it at all, because you only want to just give a little bit. Can you see how it's just giving a little bit more definition? And again on this one, and I can bring it down just a tad. So I've still got that nice blue on it. And then again, just a little bit. Let's see if that was enough. Yes, that's fine, because that's more in the distance. Okay. So I do think I want to do the leaves around there darker, because I don't think it frames it quite enough. So let me find that leaf one again, which is this one. And I'm going to do that in a dark green to just give, it needs to have that darkness to bring it in a bit. So let me just find, oops, I knew I'd knock it at one time. Just want a slightly darker green. I don't want it too dark, I don't think. Let's try this one, which is garden green, which I think is probably, let's see if that's going to go. That's better. And I'm still doing it full strength because we've got all the other colours underneath. So I'm just taking it round. And then all I will do is put a Christmassy sentiment on there. There we go. So you can see on that, I really love the way just by using a little fine sprig, you can take it up all the way around. Now you could, if you wanted to, is to use a little red pen and put some little berries around there. You know, you can add whatever you want to it. In fact, I might actually do that. I might take a red pen and just add just a few little berries around there. But it's given a nice little scene in the centre, but it's given a nice sort of green outside, which I think is really rather pretty. So I hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.